Hello guys, and hello Jonathan. Oh god, this is really ridiculously early in the morning for me to be doing this on a Saturday. I feel like death warmed up, and interesting video, and it's not something I've haven't seen before. I've already done one of these videos and forgot to plug the mic in, so bear with me. I'm in that much of a state this morning. Um, yeah, I DJ'd in a club, and I'll name it. It was called Oceans in Bracknell, in Berkshire, back in the 80s. On and off, I wasn't the main DJ there, but I worked now and again. Um, and their setup was very unusual to anywhere else I'd worked. And bearing in mind what you've just mentioned, uh, as you walked through the main door of the club, the dance floor was on the left, and it was a reasonably traditional square dance floor. Uh, Bar on the right, and at the back of this level was like a restaurant, pizza place, uh, and it was a curved shaped booth, quite big, but the back of that, so instead of facing your crowd on the dance floor, it actually faced away and towards the restaurant and the bar area. So as you were setting your decks up, your back was to the crowd on the dance floor. Now initially I thought this was a bit strange, but observing the other DJs and then in practice myself, it actually brought the rest of the club in to the whole evening. The people on the dance floor are dancing, and you are addressing them because you're turning around with a mic and boom, 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 doing your little bits and bobs. The rest of the time, you're looking at the people that are perhaps coming, sitting in the restaurant, and quite often they were just sitting there at that time. On the right hand side, you've got the people in the bar, so you're not ignoring them anymore. You're facing them. So you're putting a big shout out to John over there. Come on, John, get your wife up on the dance floor, and it was really bringing them in. Only disadvantage, if you went for a wee, all your gear's exposed. So you needed someone to stand there. You'd have to call a doorman over, and he'd have to stand there. So that wasn't brilliant. I suggested perhaps having flight cases there that you can quickly lock, and while you go to the loo, and they never got round to doing that, but hey. So it worked on a number of levels, even though it was an unusual idea. The other thing that I've seen on a mobile, but I worked in a little club in Wokingham in Berkshire, a little bit of a funny old place really, but we had some fun time there, Perry's Country Club. And we had like a built-in wooden booth, and like the place was no money being spent on it, so in the end we were all taking our mobile kit in because the mobile kit was better than the kit they had. And this one DJ would set up as normal. He'd have a mic behind his booth, and he would do what we all do in the early part of the evening. In the later part of the evening, when people were really up and dancing and get going, and remember, we're talking times when you'd play Hi Ho Silver Lining and 2468 Motorway and that sort of stuff. He would have a microphone on a stand the other side of the booth in front, because we were up on a stage, and it was much more of a performance. He would come round, he would really get them going, and I've got to be honest, me and a few of the other DJs, when we were having a drink there, what's this guy on? God, I think he was mad. He was a bit older than us. He was probably my age. Actually, he was probably my age now. For mid-40s, and I was only 20. I used to think, yeah, this is crazy. What's he all up to? I was more interested in listening to the latest jazz, funk, soul sounds and importing them in from the States. But this guy was more interested in getting up in front of the crowd. But I tell you what, it worked. They used to go crazy for him. So in retrospect, it's something actually I've been thinking about when I won't go into it, but when I do my move, and I think most of my work's going to be in holiday resorts and perhaps restaurants outside in the summer. No, it's not going to be in England. So I think it's going to be a case of they're going to have their meal and then they're going to be entertained. It's not going to be a background music or just a few songs of dance. They're going to need to be encouraged. So that's what I was thinking. A microphone around the other side. I would then go round and perhaps with a radio walk round the tables. What are you doing here tonight? Any special occasion? boom, 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 and just create a more of a party atmosphere and more of a show, uh, a bit of a performance. So I actually quite like this idea of setting up sideways. Haven't worked it out in my brain, especially at this time in the morning, whether for a morning gig. See, this is what I mean. The brain is not working. I'm going to carry on. For a wedding gig, that's going to be suitable. Perhaps they would like it looking neat and tidy. I suppose not to say that you can't have it neat and tidy the other way. But I think for a party, definitely. I don't know. I think for a wedding it might be good. Because again, you can come forward. I'd like to bring the bride and groom onto the dance floor for their first dance of the evening. This sort of thing. Of course, it will mean that I will have to wear trousers when I go and not just stand there in my thong. Oh well, never mind. But anyway, definitely worth debating. Please put some more information on Jonathan's below Jonathan's video. I'm really interested on this one. I think we can take this quite a long way, and let's see some different setups. Let's see some different ideas, and perhaps see some of the various. This is where the light screens could come in good. Perhaps those. This is just off the top of my head. LED light screens, one either side, with you in the middle. Some different effects could come of this, and it's always nice to be different from your competition that's going around. Mind you, if we all do it, it won't be that different, but it's going to be different to a number of the guys, and I think. Then when you do it, when they look at it, they say, oh yeah, this guy's really good. He does this, he does that. It's all about making a name and getting talked about. Anyway, practice and enjoy. Look forward to seeing the comments.